I played EAFC for right around 1,000 hours, and I love it. About 65% of that time was spent in Ultimate Team, and then the remainder in Pro Clubs, maybe with about 2% of Career Mode because I had to give it a try. So I played this game for a while, and when I say I love it, that does not go without saying that there are definitely some issues with this game for sure. And the entirety of this game cycle, I took notes on this game in terms of things that I thought could be better, and a lot of what I'm about to say I think are really easy fixes. I'm looking at my list right now. But I really do love this game. Like, it fills a certain need for me. I really do need to have my soccer game, my soccer time. I need to be thinking about my team. And I sink a lot of hours into this every year. I really do. And I don't know if anyone even sees this right now, but I want to try to do my part in helping make EAFC FIFA, whatever you want to call it, as good as I can. And I'm not working there, right? But I'm trying to do what I can as a person who's playing this game a lot. So to make this as easy as possible, I broke this kind of all of the suggestions that I have down into 5 categories. So menus, rewards, gameplay, visual and customization, and other. Let's start with menus. Okay, again, a lot of these are really quick W's. Have you ever been in the transfer market looking for a kit and tried to use like the color filter for searching for a kit? Those are a lot of the times very wrong. Like, a white kit will be marked as blue. This is something so simple. Can we fix this, please? When looking for stadium customization items in the transfer market, the international filter sometimes is not there. Can we fix that? Sometimes after you download an update file, your save settings will reset, as in your saved game controls will reset with no indication to you that this has happened. This has happened to me with trainer settings, camera settings, and other settings. Can we look into this? If a player receives one Player of the Month card, and then they receive a second Player of the Month card, when doing the SBC for the second Player of the Month card, can we at least have one of the teams that we have to build taken away by just submitting the initial Player of the Month card? Think about it. Sometimes when you search for a rivals game, and there's the little setting that you can click for if you want to play only against one other person or against co-op people, and that will just reset on its own. And sometimes you'll just load into a game not knowing that you're going to face off against the co-op demons. Obviously frustrating. Can we look into this? I feel like this got better as the year went on, but sometimes when you're selecting a formation within the squad screen, it is just unbearably slow. I think that the practice arena got at least 1.5 times worse this year. The system is pretty confusing. Also, when I'm doing skill moves, can you please let me pick just whoever I want to take my free kicks or do any skill game? I think it's honestly kind of ridiculous that you can't do that, because the process that you have to do right now is you have to select a team that the player is playing for, which may not even be your favorite team, but you have to pick it as that, and then you can use it from there. But if you want to use a player on a different team, then you have to go through all the menus and change that again. You get it. Okay, Evos. Obviously, Evo's insane. First year of Evo's happening, and I think they did like a relatively awesome job with that, right? For the first year. I think one thing off rip, you have to note that we could have really used more than one Evo slot at a time. Like, I do not know why that needed an entire game cycle for them to add that. But obviously, Evo's a great step in the right direction. But some of these Evos, and I'm going to talk about the box-to-box Centurions Evo right now, you had to pay a lot of coinage at the time for that Evo. So for example, the box-to-box Centurions Evo was 150k, right? And then obviously if you didn't pack the card that you want to use for that, you have to buy the card on top of that. Moreover, there was a segment of that upgrade where, there's a segment of that Evo where you had to get 20 wins just in one segment of it. That's a lot for one card, and I think, that just really feels like a lot. Mind you, I said 20 wins, not 20 games played. I think 20 games played would be different. But even then, I think it still should be like a maximum of 15 games played in one segment. But with that being said, could we just have other objectives, maybe a little bit more variety there? Sometimes when you're in the squad screen, you just cannot use certain managers. For example, for a long time, and I don't even know if this is still a bug that's going on, but I could not use Carlos Tevez as a manager. Obviously, he has a card as a player and a manager, so when trying to use the manager card, it just would not recognize him as a manager. Can we get a filter for playstyles or playstyle pluses when trying to add players to the squad? I think that could be helpful. If you've ever played GTA, you know that you can set the default game that you load into to be online or story mode, whatever. Could we have that with EAFC? Could we set it to auto load into Ultimate Team or not Volta, but clubs or whatever? Like, I assume the primary thing for that would be Ultimate Team, right? But it's a quality of life thing. Can we have a way to pin objectives in the sense of, I'm in the menus. This is an objective I'm trying to complete. Maybe there's like 3 I'm trying to complete. And I built my team so I can do so accordingly in the next game. And then somehow in the game, maybe you press the touchpad. I don't know what it is, but you're able to see those objectives show up on the screen. Because that can be painful to have the double screen set up or trying to look on your phone trying to do that. Or maybe they show up in the pause menu, like can we just get something there? Back to Evos. When completing an Evo, can we see the total player count or percentage of player base who did the exact same Evo like player in that path? I think that would be cool, adds some uniqueness to it. Okay, stats. So in recent years, they gave us a little bit more with the stats, which I love to see, but I still need more. Could we possibly have the ability to see recent performance statistics? So, for example, the last 5, 10, 15, 30, whatever games, and I could see my players, like not just their goals and assists, but maybe expected goals as well, passing accuracy, where the passes are from, like heat maps of where they are. Okay, the heat map might be a lot, but like I want more stats. Oh my gosh, I want to see more stats on my players. The draft, you know how we have those dead picks that are just all common gold cards or just low rated gold cards? Can we put popular Evos in those picks instead? And I'm not saying every pick needs to be a banger, but can we just maybe toss some of those in there? Sometimes in SBCs, I kind of wish we had a team rating with a decimal by it so you could just see how close you were to the next rating. That's kind of silly, but okay, back to stats. Would there be a way for us to separate squad battle statistics from rivals and champs, and maybe even rivals from champs, like in the way that it showed your record? And as a more basic stat-based request, could we have the match facts from like the last 3 matches? Because I can't even tell you how many times you get angry at the end of the game and then you were just zooming through the menus and you missed that. Pro clubs, can we upgrade our stats in between games while searching? I feel like this has got to happen. I mean, that's so annoying when you have to request the back out and you're the only person that needs to, and then you take a while, and then of course you got to change your boots. But okay, you know how sometimes you're in game and you're getting beat down and then you have to actually adjust your tactics and then you boss up and you win? Can we have an ability to perma-save the tactic changes that you made in game? And maybe that even saves it to a new squad, but then you still have those tactics saved, because I've definitely forgot some amazing tactics before. Okay, last thing for menus. Why has the ability to completely reset your club on Ultimate Team been taken away? That just seems really weird. That's like a quality of life thing. It gets like, it's the summertime, maybe you want to restart, you want to do something different. Why are we removing quality of life stuff? Okay, on to rewards. Okay, so regarding the milestones objectives for rewards, why am I getting 100 rivals wins and 300 rivals wins and only getting like pitch trophy, like aesthetic things? And keep the aesthetic. Cool. I need that. I want to be able to upgrade my stadium. I love that. Cool. Let's make them a little bit more visually enticing for sure. But I need some packs with that as well, because that is deflating. Also, maybe we think about altering the milestone rewards entirely and have them reset every time the battle pass resets as well. Because once you get the milestones done, they're kind of just done and they sit there forever. So I don't know, maybe those could be updated more often. Ultimate Team is obviously the heart of FIFA, EAFC, whatever you want to call it. I find it a little bit strange that when you're playing clubs, career mode, Volta, or whatever, that you're not getting some type of progress for foot. Like, I think in the past you may have been able to get your career mode play, or maybe Alex Hunter is maybe what it was in Ultimate Team. But I just feel like if foot is the thing, that's the moneymaker. It really is. Why are we not trying to direct more people towards foot by giving them foot encouraged rewards? Okay, in regards to the battle pass, so for the people that grind the game and play past the required amount of rivals wins, you're literally just playing for the love of the game, bro. You want to get in some soccer, football, and you just want to play. But by just playing, at the end of seasons, there ends up being so much XP that if you've already hit the end, you're kind of just wasting it. So could there possibly be a little extension, a secret extension on the battle pass, kind of similar to how Rocket League does it, where it doesn't show you like at the very beginning, but if you hit the max level, then you can keep going? Because at a certain point, you really aren't incentivized to keep playing. Okay, in terms of end of season rival rewards, this was obviously a heartbreaking change. When you played the 30, 60, and 90 games and then it only gave out a TIFO, that doesn't feel like it's okay, bro. That doesn't feel good at all. For that to have been packs at one point and then to have been removed seems crazy. And I'm trying to be so respectful, but that seems so crazy. Especially because, and when you're really playing it and you're really loving the game, you are just playing. So I made sure to write this down. The time that the first season ended, my record was 132, 31, and 130. So one, that's a terrible record. Two, that's 293 total games. Almost 300 games played. Only had to play 90. And all I got was a TIFO. It's definitely painful. And again, maybe can we add some more rewards if you go over the 90? I don't know. Everyone has some stuff to say about packs, but I just have to say one thing. The amount of time that you get the exact same duplicate is pretty wild, considering how many cards are actually in the database and all of similar ratings. But actually, how do you keep getting duplicate Kimmiches and Bernardo Silvas and Oblaks? And up until the very end of the year, I had not packed Griezmann, who is, again, similar rating to those guys. Okay, so obviously you've seen objectives that require three minimum three people from the Prem in your squad, right? If you have two people in the Prem on chem and then one of them out of position, the games do not always count, which is definitely frustrating. And kind of circling back to the playing a lot of games anecdote, can we have some battle pass XP for just playing games? Like just every single game played gets you some XP, like a little bit of the reward for the grinders. Okay, and then season rewards. So we have a red card, kind of similar to the Foot Champs type of design, but for each individual season having its own design specific to that season. And so maybe that's a player with that one unique card design, or maybe that's even just like an Evo with the special cool design on it. I don't know. But I'm thinking about ways to add sentimentality to people and in their squad and their players. Okay, into gameplay. So substitutions. R2 quick sub, cool. Okay, good addition, right? But there has to be a way of quick subbing, like you trigger it on your own, because that only comes up when the ball goes out sometimes, and sometimes it just doesn't show up. And sometimes it takes the ball a really long time to go out. But with the D-pad or something in the menus, could we please have a way to do that? Gosh, I find a lot of the time when I'm intercepting the ball, obviously you have to get there quick, so I'm holding sprint. And I really do try to stop holding sprint when I intercept the ball, but it is hard to stop that. And I don't know if that's just a skill thing, but I think that makes a lot of my intercepted passes go back to my opponent. I don't know if that's a skill thing or if that should be like looked at all. Free kicks near your halfway line are terrible, and they have been from so long. And free kicks just not, maybe outside of like 35 yards outside the goal, are just really rough. Why are they so rough? But in terms of those ones that are very far back, there should always be someone for your center back to just pass. Like you should be able to spam X and have someone to pass to and have it be safe. Also, why do the center back and outside back swap positions on the center back on the free kick sometimes? So like your center back will be standing outside by the line and your outside back's on the free kick, even if you haven't designated like that as a free kick taker. Okay, there were a lot of FIFA games where cutbacks did not seem that important or did not get abused that much. So why in the past maybe 4 iterations of the game has it been so prevalent? Those are just painful. Okay, fouling. I think this actually got added to the game. I think I saw this in one of the trailers, but a dedicated foul button, tactical foul button, obviously. That's a very real part of the game. That's painful when you need to take a tactical foul and then you click circle or click square and you get it completely, maybe not you, but your player gets it completely wrong because he just doesn't see the vision. In terms of competition, division rivals and champs can be very rough to play at times, for sure. Not to mention the server connection issues, heavy gameplay. But could there be a different game mode that is just more chill? Like, is that possible to obtain in modern times? I just don't know. And I get that there's friendlies. People be grinding their objectives in there, and that's really cool. But I'm talking about just straight up classic matches. And if you search for a classic match on friendlies, that oftentimes took me minutes to try to get a game for that. Would there be possible to just have straight up random games, no skill-based matchmaking? I don't know. Or would that only benefit the super sweaty people? I'm not sure. Managers. Is there any way we could make managers matter? Like if I have Pep Guardiola as my manager, can all of my players receive +2 short passing and +2 vision? I'm just trying to throw something out there. But if managers could have any type of impact on the game that would not be super incredibly busted, then I think that would be cool. Co-op rivals. Can we please give co-op rivals its own rival system with its own record? The way that it works now is really painful, having always being put into the higher division. Like, that makes sense, I think. But can we just have its own division so that when you play with your boy, it's not that stressful and you're not just destroying your record? Your main record, that is. Formations. How is it possible that some formations are, like, can actually be deemed unusable, as they just don't fit the meta? They just don't really work. Will this be fixed with the EAFC IQ, I hope? Fast free kicks. So, you know when you get fouled, but it gives you the option to put the ball down, and then your hand on the ball, and then you're waiting to kick it, whatever. When your opponent does that, and you're trying to switch people so you can try to cover a passing lane or whatever, it oftentimes does not let you switch people, which is obviously very frustrating. Momentum. Oftentimes you can try to trigger an outside the foot shot or pass, and if your player does not like the angle, they'll do this weird kind of slow move where they try to angle around the ball a little bit so they can get an angle that they like. This obviously is really slow and awkward, and it doesn't look real. Would there be some type of indication if your player doesn't like the angle, or maybe we just get more animations for that? I don't know, but that's maybe just a better recognition of, okay, I can do it from this angle. Quitting. If you're tied with someone and they quit, you should definitely get the win. I don't even understand why this is up for debate at all. I feel like it would be really difficult to change my mind on that. Okay, back to the stats a little bit. Could we have opposing player statistics? And by this I mean, so let's say every time I play against a Benzema card, his stats are tracked. And then the commentators can then speak to those real head-to-head stats of me versus a player. So I've played against Gold Benzema 15 times. He scored against me 10 and he has 7 assists. I want the commentators talking about that. That would add a crazy level of realism, but that's a lot, I understand. So obviously first touch is huge, but I would love it if we had more control over our first touch, and I'm not quite sure the buttons that you would do to implement that, but this first touch I'm about to show you, like, I need to be able to do this on my own and just trigger it. So ball is coming in, and then I just turn with it. You turn with underfoot and go. Ball comes in, and then you go. Power shots. I really did love power shots. What a great addition. Oh my goodness. Completely unrealistic, but so fun, right? But a lot of the times, someone can give you a lead pass. Your guy will not just walk up and crush it, even if you have queued the power shot. And that'll happen like that on X passes, triangle passes, on square crosses. I don't think I was ever able to power shot on the end of that. That's obviously just a little bit frustrating because people do step into shots and absolutely rip them. So I would love to see that. Animations. Slightly silly, but have you ever watched like a Real Madrid game from last year, dude? They're sliding, they're crunching people, and they're screaming after it in their hype. Like, I need that. I need to see that. Ooh. Could we have a practice arena within the Ultimate Team that reflects the actual stats of like the people's cards and foot? Because there's currently no way to like test people and test their free kicks in particular. The best thing you could do is just use their default stats and go into the practice arena, or if you're really nerdy, you could edit their stats up to the Ultimate Team stuff, but even then you're not playing on the same sliders that are the Ultimate Team sliders. So, but also, like, when you're loading into the games, like, why are you, I kind of want to be able to mess around in a practice arena, again, kind of like Rocket League, but a general practice arena in Ultimate Team to test stuff out with Ultimate Team sliders, like, I need that. I really do need that bad. Ooh, draft. Could we possibly have a draft mode that's random playstyles? So the number of playstyles on a given card would stay the same, and the number of playstyle pluses would stay the same, but the gold and white badges could be random. Something to think about. Okay, visual and customization. Some point through the year, I just lost the ability to use sparklers and other goal pyrotechnics, which is weird because in past FIFAs you've been able to use them and they've honestly looked decent. Why can I not buy different pitch patterns? That is kind of ridiculous. It's kind of just a luck of the draw every year. You get like either 1 or 2 of them and then you're just stuck with that forever unless you buy like a different stadium. But again, let's let people customize. Why can I not play a night game? I'm trying to have champs games at nights and I don't want horrible shadows. And another thing I want it to be raining. I want it to be snowing. I want it to be shining. I want it to be a little windy. You throw in some weather conditions and maybe for Ultimate Team only, you make it so it doesn't, I'm trying to think, would you want like the snow effect and the rain effect in Ultimate Team? I don't know. Ball is ball, I wonder. With no weather conditions, I'm playing the same game every game. Like I would change the time of day sometimes or give me some rain, snow, something. Back to the statistics a little bit. I need more. We could have clean sheets for players, passing pass accuracy, forward ball progression statistics. Again, give me a heat map. Most common like dribble heat map where you pick the ball up. Like this, can you imagine seeing these stats on your player's card in the squad menu? Like that would be so cool. Oh my god, when you're in the squad menu, can we please have automatic correct number jersey assignment to people? Thank God we have the ability to change the jersey numbers on our own, but would that really be that hard to add? Then if people have the same number, just, I'm not even saying you need to add to your database everyone's jersey history number. Like, if two people have the same number, then just give it to the higher rated card, but that doesn't seem that hard to add. Kind of nitpicky, but some people have the same picture on their card for so many years in a row, right? I think it bothers me when people have changed teams and then they still have the same picture they had last year and the jersey doesn't even match the team. If we have more regular updates to players' hair and or faces, and that could be just more real player faces getting added, but also Griezmann gets a haircut every week. Rodrigo de Paul the same. Pogba used to be that way. When someone gets a big haircut, like when Mo Salah got the chop, I need that. I need that, bro. Take his hair off in the update. Okay, pro clubs. Like the pro clubs customization should be taken so much more seriously. Oh my gosh. Is there a licensing issue that prevents us from having the boots from prior FIFAs? Like if you added all of the freaking shoes from years past, people would eat that up. They'd love it. Also, can we have more hairstyles? Like it's going up, I think, the number of hairstyles, but I need more. So why can we not use or easily use our pro clubs player in the practice arena? Obviously, people would want to do that. Okay, last thing in the other category. Again, Evos were great. That's a great step, and I hope it gets better every single year. I really do. But obviously, EA is like very aware of the most popular Evos that the player base has completed. And if they're not aware of that, you could definitely just use Footman or something to then become aware of that, right? But how many times did a popular Evo card end up in a promo? But more specifically, how many times did a popular Evo player end up in a promo shortly after their Evo was released? A couple times at the bare minimum, right? Kyle Walker's, I think, green card was probably the best example of this, but if there's an Evo that everyone's eaten up, I don't think that means we need a special card for that person that same week. I really don't. That's all I had to say regarding EAFC24. I'm gonna be back for EAFC25. I'm gonna do this again. I'll probably do the same for EAFC26. Not that I have a ton of faith that this gets in the hands of EAFC, but if I can help in any way, let me know, please.
Brasil!